Hey friends, welcome back. Friends, today we're gonna check how to forward and redirect request, and for doing so I have already added this particular project, and let us add couple of JSP to start with. So let me add a JSP file which would be index.jsp, and in the index.jsp we will simply type in welcome. Here we go. And we will add a new file forward.jsp, and here we go. In the forward.jsp we will type in request forwarded, and in this particular index page we would call JSP forward tag, and the way to do so is pretty simple. JSP forward tag, and the syntax is JSP:forward page equals the name of the page as a string, and finally closing the JSP forward tag. And now if I provide the parameter as forward.jsp and save the program, what happens is that as soon as we load the welcome page or this index.jsp, the request, whole and sole request, would be forwarded to forward.jsp. Even this welcome text won't be printed on the web page. So let me show you this. Let me execute the program. Here we go. So request forwarded, even though there is a text before there's a statement, even then the request would be forwarded. So this is known as forwarding. Now what is the special thing about forwarding? If we check the URL doesn't change, only the request gets forwarded. Even if I remove this index.jsp, as index.jsp is our welcome page, even then the request would be forwarded to this file and not the index.jsp file. So this is forwarding. We must also check how to forward the request under Java, or how we can do it under servlet. This particular syntax we won't be able to use under servlet. So let us check the generic way of forwarding the request, which is used mostly, as the forwarding of request is most likely to be done under servlet and not under JSP. So in here quickly I will create a scriptlet, and inside this scriptlet we will make use of something known as request dispatcher. So we would type in request in here. Eclipse is not responding somehow, so I will type in request dot get request dispatcher. The Eclipse is not responding that good, and in this argument we need to pass in the page to which we would be forwarding the request. So in here it would be forward dot JSP, and once we reach till now, we can either create an object of request type and use the object for calling the forward method, or we can also call the forward method directly, which I usually preferred. So I will call the forward method, and to the forward method we need to pass in request and response. So we will pass in request, which is the object of request, and response. Here we go, and everything looks good, and the output would be exactly same. There won't be any change in here. So let me execute the program. Here we go. So request has been forwarded, even if I remove index.jsp again, and the request should be forwarded. So this is the way how we can do it using Java. Now most of the time this way would be used, obviously, because this way can be used in servlet, and most of the time forwarding and all the business logic part is being implemented in servlet. So all these operations would be done in servlet most of the time. Now finally let me again comment this out, how to redirect the request. Now if we would like to redirect, we need to do it by making use of response object, as we are responding to the request. So it would be like response dot send redirect, and inside this particular parameter we can pass the name of the page. So let us now create a new page. In fact, it would be redirected page, new JSP, redirect.jsp. In here I will type in redirected page, redirected page. This looks good. All right, coming back to index.jsp. In here we will type in redirect.jsp. And now if I execute the program, the things should work properly. Here we go. So in here redirect.jsp got loaded even though we have executed index.jsp page. And even if I get rid of redirect.jsp page from the URL and hit enter, even then the page would be redirected to the page redirect.jsp. Now what is redirection? Redirection means that your whole request would be redirected to a new URL, whereas when we are doing a forwarding thing, only the information is being captured and the information has been forwarded to the new page, and the response which has been received by the page is been displayed on the web page and the URL doesn't change. So this is all about redirect and forwarding, and this is something important which is highly used when we code scalable architecture by using architecture like MVC or other things. So we will also check how to code with MVC and all other stuff, and these redirecting and forwarding would be helpful then. So I guess the lecture was easy to understand, and hope you guys to see you next time. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.